I just love that intro. This is my favorite. It's so. Wait, is it still happening over there?
It is. There's a delay.
Hey!
Pay no attention to the screen.
All right. I'll look away from the screens.
Mm-hmm. I always want to add in my extra zoom sounds, but they're never as cool out loud as they are in my head.
I think that's still okay, though. They stir something in your imagination. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Zoom.
Zoom.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Guess
So
what?
back on track.
It's Fresh Film Friday!
Yay!
And it's going to be super sunny this weekend.
Yeah, so who cares about the sun? Come to the theater instead.
Dark theater.
Some of these films have sun in them, so you won't even notice. I bet yours is actually very
It's sunny and gorgeous. You can take a trip to France in Cézanne.
France.
You can take a trip to Lakota country, and you can take a trip to New York.
Much cheaper at
And
the theater.
Israel.
And Israel. We got it all here for you. All right. I'm Katie.
I'm Darcy.
Laura.
Not Marley.
Not Marley.
This
I'm
is
the
Darcy.
other blonde of the group.
Marley is, hopefully if her car started, headed to SIF to watch some
Yay.
films. Yeah.
Our friends to the north, the Seattle International Film Festival. Hats off to you.
Yes, we love what they're doing.
Hope it's going to be amazing. It kicked off yesterday, right? Or,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they only have
1 more month to go.
Yeah, 5 weeks
So
to go.
long.
Okay.
Hundreds of films.
So what
Yes.
films are we opening this Friday right now?
That's a good question. I watched Norman.
What's the full?
You know what it is.
It's not. I can't even see it. It's
Rise.
The moderate rise and tragic fall of a
New York Fixer.
fixer. Of a New
Yeah.
York fixer.
They shortened the name just to Norman because they realized that was hard for people to remember the name.
I watched the entire 2 hours and I don't remember that name.
Oh, do you remember the Norman part?
I do.
Okay.
Richard Gere is named Norman. Yes.
Yes.
What do you think
And-
of his character? Oh, are we
okay.
just going through? Okay. So
Well, no, I mean, we can talk about Norman
Yeah,
for a little
well,
bit.
I haven't seen it, and I read some things where different reviewers were giving him lots of adjectives, like describing the heck out of this guy, and posing them as questions, like, is he this or this or this? Is he obnoxious? Is he endearing? Do we love him? Do we hate him?
I
Do we
completely
hate to
agree
love
with all
him?
of those questions.
Well, there wasn't a lot of, like, it, from what I saw for reviews, it didn't give you a lot of backstory on who, like, Norman is and what his deal is. You're just kind of thrown in, like, side by side with him trying to figure out what's going on.
I like that trope.
Yeah.
I like that mechanism.
Like, there's a thing at the very beginning where he's trying to connect people with something else. I don't want to say anything about
Okay.
it, but, like, you have no idea what he's talking about, but you're just kind of thrown into his little world of networking.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It's an interesting story. It's very political
Yeah.
and business oriented, and it was kind of stressful being more of a creative. But if you like business transactions,
Political
and-
intrigue.
Yeah.
And, like, are people stabbing each other in the back?
or are they just friends?
Or is it just, like, what you have to do if you're going to be part of global politics and capitalism
And one nice gesture, can that bite you in the back?
forever?
Yeah.
Interesting.
How was Richard Gere?
Yeah. What are his fans going to think of this role?
I liked it. I've recently seen a couple films that I did not like him in, and this kind of redeemed him in it. So yeah,
Nice.
Cool.
He looked pretty good. I thought that he was going to look older and, like, more like an old man in this. No, he
yeah.
looks pretty good.
The way they did his hair made him look more naive and flustered. I think
All right. I've only
less
seen
well
the...
kept than all of his other like political friends in the movie.
That's fitting.
I've only seen him with the hat on.
Yeah.
But another reason why Norman is exciting is because this is a contemporary film. It's set in a contemporary time.
It's not a period.
It's
piece?
not a period piece.
Hey, don't hate on the period pieces.
Hey, we love period pieces. But variety is the
True.
spice of life.
We've
True.
seen a lot in
have
last month.
So
Well-
Norman and neither wolf nor dog, but not Cézanne and I.
I
Yeah.
liked it.
But it is a period piece.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so my word that I picked for mine was transporting, because I enjoyed being transported to another time frame, and it also made me reflect on current, like, my life and my friendships and my ambitions. This film, Cézanne and I, is the French, and I didn't say that nicely. Katie can say it better for you.
Cézanne et moi.
Et moi.
But
That's the
we're
French
calling
name.
it Cézanne and I.
Yeah, so if you look on IMDb, it's going to have to be in French, but if you look on our website, it's going to be in English. But just a note on that. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a film about friendships. The director's female. Her name is Daniela Thompson, and I did a little bit of reading on her and realized she's done all comedies before this piece. And people just kept telling her, do a comedy. And she's like, I really want to do this film on Cézanne. And they're like, no, comedy is what you know, stick with what you know. And she had a film that was kind of a flop, so then she decided to do this out of just the pure passion and joy for it. She needed to go back to something in filmmaking that she was passionate about and liked. Did a ton of research through manuscripts, got to see some of the writer Emile Zola's like handwriting and him like penciling and scratching things out in his manuscripts, spent time in museums looking at artwork, got herself connected to some of the family members of these two famous artists, and just really dove in and used her imagination to tell the story of their lifelong friendship. And so the film is also just told in a really interesting way. It's kind of scattered a little bit like impressionistic paintings would be, and you find yourself going back and forth between different times in their lives, aided nicely with like years on the screen so you know where you're at. But
Same actors the whole time, or did they?
Basically, except for when they were like in grade school. There's like kids, but they did a really good job of transporting them from looking like 40-year-olds to 20-year-olds. I was kind of watching and wondering like, okay, are the wrinkles real here? Or like, what's
Where
happening?
are the wrinkles real?
Yeah, so that was really great. Just young men on their way to becoming something is what she kind of wanted to capture in this film.
Cool.
And just lots of great feelings, shot on location in a lot of spaces. And like I said, I've been trying to immerse myself in all the films we have at the Grand right now that are about creatives and artists. I've been watching the jazz films. This was really fun for me to dive into a painter and a writer and to really see that interplay of two individuals that have ambitions, that have passions, that believe in each other, but kind of like their ego and sometimes their willingness to compromise gets in the way of their friendship. And it was just really insightful, really gorgeous, really interesting, very bohemian.
Nice,
So
cool.
I had lots of thoughts. I liked it a lot.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
It does sound nice.
Yeah.
And if we've been running the exhibition on screen series now for almost a year, right?
Yeah.
So if you've been a devotee of those, which have been documentaries that dig into different artists, this is going to be a good one to sneak in there. More biopic, less documentary, but still about two amazing artists. Cool. Sounds gorgeous, actually.
Yeah.
Sounds nice to look at. Who needs that outside?
Well, one other cool thing I want to say, like along with the artsy lines, I loved what they did with lighting. There was a couple shots where you see, in the same way that like outdoor painters are trying to capture lighting and paint quickly and whatnot so that they can see the same lighting, they show you a few freeze frames where you're just watching people kind of like hold and the lighting's changing from night to day into the morning again. And that becomes a piece of the struggle for Cézanne of trying to capture the images that he's wanting to portray with the lighting. And I just
Cool.
appreciated all that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like something that people who are interested in filmmaking would want to see too. Like she's doing some
Definitely.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I saw Neither Wolf Nor Dog, which was so good. I was so excited about it. I had a feeling that I would enjoy it, but it is also transporting. You go into a kind of a generational experience with this with members of the Lakota tribe, and they deal with Christopher Sweeney, who plays the writer. I can't remember his first name. His last name's Nurburn or Nurborn. Anyway, he's the guy who wrote Neither Wolf Nor Dog. So it's about his experience being basically summoned by let's see, what is his name in the film? I didn't remember anybody's name. Let's see. But the actor's name, Dave Bald Eagle, who plays the Lakota elder, is so amazing, and he's been in a few movies, but he said that this was the one that was most true to his experience and to the experience of his people, which is really exciting to hear. But he's like, you just want to see a gazillion hours of him on film. He's incredible. So, Nurburn, which is a weird last name. Yeah. Is basically brought to spend time with with Dave. I'm just going to call him Dave, and to write about his experiences. But it's quite personal. It's very complex, and it uncovers this very interesting and painful family history, which is always forcing the main character, or one of the main characters, the white author, out of his preconceived ideas of like, here's the history of our Native Americans, and and he's constantly running up against the fact that like they're real people with real experiences and cultural traditions that he took for granted or interacted with incorrectly. And so it's a constant challenge for him in a way that gets him to a place where he really can let go of all of his preconceptions and assumptions. And the movie takes you through that too in a way that was really powerful and really eye-opening and helpful. So it's an awesome film, incredible performances, really cool, intimate story about some much greater truths. And then you're going on this kind of mini road trip led through the a couple different reservations in South Dakota. So you're seeing the plains, and it's really gorgeous. And there's an awesome scene with some prairie dogs, which I don't think I've ever seen a prairie dog scene before.
Yeah.
They were super cute.
Do you think they were professional actor fairy dogs?
Yes.
Or they just caught them?
I'm positive they were. These are the most famous prairie dogs in Hollywood.
Do they have their own IMDb page?
I hope so. Oh, you could tell it was a shot from a distance, and they're like frolicking in the sun, being like adorable.
Oh.
So you kind of get the whole spectrum.
I have a question for you about the film.
Yes.
So in the press notes, I read something along the lines of this is a film about Native American peoples like no other. And I haven't watched enough films myself to have a comparison there, but just even the synopsis and whatnot, what you've explained so far, sounds like that's true. How do you feel about that statement?
Well, often what we experience with Native American stories is a Hollywood version. So you're seeing a lot of period pieces, you're seeing a lot of historic events, you're seeing a lot of Native American traditions and experiences portrayed by people who are not Native American. And this does none of this. It's very personal, and it's a new experience for someone who maybe doesn't know anything about what it's like to live on a reservation, or anything about the atrocities and the historical subjugation that has happened to Native Americans, and how personal that is, and how personal it still is, in a way that really shakes you and feels really visceral, which I think is an important experience. Yeah. And then there are funny moments, and there's this also, I got really excited about the animals, apparently. There's an amazing old dog called Fatback who's super cute.
Does that inform the name of the film? Because I've been kind of curious to find the symbolism and the meaning behind the name. Is it more an attribute towards people, or did it come from something else in the film?
It is about people. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
You should come and see what that means.
All right.
But yes,
I'm excited.
It is about people.
Did either of you guys see Resbaum, also by the same director? Okay. Looks good. I did not. But it sounds
Seems
amazing.
good.
Sounds amazing.
So watch that, and then come to the Grand.
Yeah. And Christopher Sweeney, who plays the white author, Nurburn, is from Washington State. So that's exciting.
His family's coming to watch the film here.
So, yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
exciting.
yay, we're so excited.
Yeah.
His books are really popular too, from what I've read. Like this one that this book is, the film is based on, won some awards, and the 2 sequels were also like really received with wide acclaim. So
I want to read the book now too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
awesome.
Cool. So we're gonna call Wade down if he's watching.
Oh, is he?
Talk about Weird Elephant. But
Speaking of weird elephants,
Yeah.
I am so excited. I found a Tacoma Rocks rock. I don't know if you all can see that, or if I need to bring it
get up
forward.
closer.
Okay.
Run all the way over there.
If you
all the way
don't
to the
know what
camera.
Tacoma Rocks are, you should definitely look it up on Facebook, because what's that one game that people are playing?
let it focus a little bit. Maybe scoot back a little bit. It's on autofocus,
I walked
so.
in this morning to the theater, and I found this somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where, but it's a picture on Instagram. And the whole premise with these is that it's people being fun and cute. And when you find them, you take a picture. Oh, this one actually says Puget Sound Rocks. I don't know who that group is. But there's a thing called Tacoma Rocks, and I was really excited about that. And yeah, what's that game that kids are playing? I sound so old saying that, but you guys play it too. It's the one where you find the little creatures.
Pokemon
Yeah,
Go.
that thing. I'm not into that.
This is it in real life.
This is cooler. This is real life. You can find these in Wright Park. You can find these in little free libraries, sidewalks, wherever. You can keep it for your own little excitement, or you can put it back. And like I said, just tag
can
them on
hide
the
it somewhere
Facebook
else.
page. And it's
So
super
if you couldn't
cool.
see, it says Fire Walk With Me, which we showed as Weird Elephant
It's got
last
the
week.
dance floor pattern. We had some people
Yeah.
make us our own Black Lodge dancing, and we have some pretty red curtains in theater. So I was just very tickled to see this. I don't know if it was a staffer that left it or just like a fan or patron, but it's going to be in the Grand today.
So we
Look, I don't
are,
know.
yeah, we're on our second week of our David Lynch series. So we kicked it off last week with Fire Walk With Me, and Saturday is Mulholland Drive, which is my
Tomorrow.
favorite David Lynch, tomorrow. And then we close it up with Blue Velvet the week after. So come at 11. Fire Walk With Me sold out, so we
Get your
do-
tickets now.
Yeah, maybe buy your tickets in advance. And it should be good. Should be as unsettling and transcendent as David Lynch is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any discussions in theater this week, but Sister Cities is going into another film on Monday. The last film will be on the 29th. So those also, we've got a big following of people that are pre-purchasing their tickets, and a lot of those sell out. So we also suggest like arriving early, getting your tickets in advance.
We also have Black Stallion for our family flick,
flick.
which is free
Thanks to
tomorrow
Columbia
morning
Bank.
at 10 a.m. Yeah, first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So if you're a horse fan,
Yeah.
go.
Or if you're a fan of just excellent children's or just family films.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
On the big screen.
Yeah.
And thank you to Columbia Bank for helping us make that possible. Free for all ages. Super fun.
Got a ton of single screenings and special screenings come up, so look
Totally.
through the now playing and coming soon pages on the website because you will not be disappointed. There's some amazing stuff coming up.
I'm so excited. I haven't seen any of the Beatles stuff yet, but there's a
Oh, yeah?
Beatles one. There's a film about swing dancing. There's
Oh,
more
yeah?
art stuff. There's lots of fun things.
Our
coming
Science
up.
on Screen next month is going to be amazing.
Off the chain.
Really good.
You got to get your tickets now. I think we're doing Hidden Figures, and a real life astronaut is going to be here, and she's going to talk to us about her experiences. It'll blow your mind, and you're going to be so excited. I already bought my tickets. You should buy your tickets.
I was so
And we
disap-
might even be opening it up for a second screen.
Good.
Yeah.
We might, yeah. We'll
So-
see how it goes. And she's willing to do 2 presentations, so that's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be the
What were you gonna
I was
say?
just gonna say, I was so disappointed that we couldn't get Hidden Figures for its full release, and now I'm really, really excited that we're able to screen it at this point, and also bringing in a lady astronaut. I think that's gonna be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
well.
Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the movies.
Come to all the movies.
Yeah.
Don't play outside.
Bye.
Bye.